A very good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the launch of CBSE nasscom National Webinar Series, Driving a Tech-Enabled Education Arch Time. My name is Amrita from the FutureSkills Prime team. The National Digital Skilling Platform, FutureSkills Prime, is happy to welcome you all here. This is a joint initiative by the Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics and nasscom. To begin the session, we would like to acknowledge and applaud the efforts of the Central Board of Secondary Education and the educators who have been at the forefront of the biggest digital transformation in recent times. In fact, CBSE is the first board of school education in India to enable their faculty members to be a part of India's digital transformation journey. The pandemic has expedited digital adoption in all walks of life, and the impact has nowhere been more pronounced than school education. The teachers, with support of CBSE, have risen to the challenge to embrace technology and continue providing learning avenues for students remotely. This exclusive webinar series for CBSE faculty members under the Digital Sashaktikaran mission is another joint effort to address the various emerging technologies which form the foundation of a digital transformation. To start the session, I would like to welcome Mr. Navneet Sanyal, Head FutureSkills Growth and Learner Success, to share his thoughts on the importance of emerging technologies, especially in the context of school education. Navneet, please may I ask you to take the session forward?
Thank you very much, Amrita, for opening the session. And namaskar, and thank you to all the teachers and everybody from CBSE and the nasscom team. We have been able to engage this platform, and we'll talk a little bit about the platform, but before I do that, with various universities, with lots of corporates, lots of IT companies. But the joy and the privilege of introducing this platform to teachers and principals and different people at CBSE is probably much better than with anybody else, because you will influence what the future of India is going to think. You will influence how the future of India is going to imbibe the changing world. And you getting aware of new age technology and you getting aware of new age professional skills is probably more important than anybody else in this country, because you will drive then this thought and this behavior to everybody in the school's ecosystem. So with that, just a quick couple of minutes on what the platform entails. So FutureSkill is, as you will understand, a platform that helps you learn and engage with futuristic skills. There was a survey conducted which actually felt that almost 50 to 60% of current workforce will become redundant in the next 2 to 3 years unless they upskill themselves. And the way the world looks at itself will take new dimensions. And this is not new. All of us have been reading it everywhere. All of us have been thinking about it. But that's reality. And as a nation, we need to make sure that we prepare a manpower which is digitally aware, which is aware of the changing technologies, and therefore can keep pace with the changing times. So the platform, which like Amrita said, is a partnership with Ministry of IT, covers 10 top technologies, which have all been identified by the industry. So anything that is in here has an element of employability and futuristic use because it has been identified by the industry, nasscom being a representative of the industry, who better to consolidate the industry view and bring it in. And more importantly, it also has 10 top professional skills into the platform. And some of the professionals, one of the professional skills that I really want to specifically call out for the teachers here is design thinking and innovation. In the past, professional skills used to be at best teamwork, communication, and that's where it would end. But things are changing very rapidly. Apart from high-end technologies, even professional skills are changing. And the one that I want to call out for all of you is design and innovation, which I think every young student at the school level needs to have embedded pretty much as we would have any languages or basic civics ingrained in us. it, Design and innovation will be as critical to survive in the future. And that's one of the programs in the professional courses. So I would urge all of you to kindly embrace it, have a look for yourself. It's never too early to learn, it's never too late to learn, and we are all responsible to ourselves to learn. So, with this request, I would hand over back to Amrita, and I sincerely hope all of you will embrace this platform and then pass it on to all the students in our nation, in our ecosystem. Thank you very much. Thanks, Amrita, for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Navneet, for setting the context. May I now request Dr. Saha, Director, Vocational Education and Skill Training, CBSE, to address our esteemed participants of the webinar.
Thank you, Amrita. Respected Ms. Kirti Sheth, CEO of NASScom, of course, Navneet ji from FutureSkills, and other distinguished members from NASScom, and my colleague, Sri R.P. Singh, and others, and of course, a huge number of faculty members from CBSE affiliated schools, because I was told that there was a huge response in registration. And in fact, not only from the private independent schools, from the side of the government, the schools also, especially from our KBS and JNB, also they are also keen to participate in this mission. And I'm till now I'm getting some messages regarding the link and other things. So that shows that the partnership between the NASScom and CBSE can be scripted in a different dimension, especially towards teachers' capability development. And when we think of emerging areas of technology, I think there is no limit. The way it is progressing and new technologies are coming and new startups are being instrumentally playing in the ecosystem, I think no player would be better than the NASScom, because whole synergy in terms of software industries and edtech are some way binded with NASScom. And that's why we thought that emerging areas of technology can be catered. Of course, we have a strong association with individual organization and even with the technical regulatory body like AICT. But powerfully, if we can spread this message of the technology incubations to the teachers first, and then gradually taking it to the classroom, I think over a period of time, the hybrid model of educations would definitely bring certain new dynamics in the not only in the systems, but gradually towards economy. So STEM area is essentially is a need to be focused upon from primary level to senior secondary level. And for that matter, how technology, especially the digital fluency, the digital literacy, and of course, with different organizations, as we are coming up different kind of technology embedded program, no matters whether it is how we can script the immersive experience. For that matters, we are thinking of AR/VR technology at one end. On the other hand, AI and this data science, how it can bring the design thinking and innovations rightly mentioned by Navjit ji. Yes. So CBSE altogether is not only planning now. Now it is an announcement that design thinking as a subjects we are offering. Blockchain as a subjects we are offering. Now many of our faculty members or school leaders are not trained with this kind of new domain. So at this point of time, FutureSkills platform, which is bundled of such program, and individually, if I recall the association with our IBM, Intel, or Microsoft, they also bundle their separate program. So one way separate programs which are readily available in the platform, and together in the FutureSkills platform which are readily available, how our teachers community can be benefited out of it. And later on, my humble request to Kiranji, that can we think of some project-based internship for the teachers first, virtual project-based learning, if platform-centric, some propaganda, if we can really come up with, then over a period of time, they definitely participate, and confident teachers, when they reach to the classroom, I think the interactions would be more creative and more positivity would be there in the classroom interactions. And gradually in the second phase, my request would be, can we think of internship for the student? And then the exact requirement of future industry, no matter it is IT industry alone or other industries requirement, how K-12 sectors can fundamentally equip that. I think that would be the point of discussions today. So with these expectations, I think our teachers, our school leader definitely is going to take the benefit out of this platform, and more participation is expected, more queries are also expected from you, so that holistic learning can be there in the platform. With this note, once again, thank you, especially to the organizer, NASCOM, and my colleagues at CBSE.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So I would like to share with everybody that we received over 22,000 registrations. Like you said, we have had an amazing response, and over 700 people are already watching us live right now. I'm sure more people will be joining us in time. Thank you once again for enabling this partnership. Now, may I call upon Ms. Kirti Seth, the CEO SSC NASCOM, to share her thoughts, please.
Namaste, everyone. As Navneet said, I just want to echo that this is a very special initiative at NASCOM. I think we are truly privileged and humbled by the honor that CBSE has bestowed on us to say that they would like to partner with us. We must be doing something right, so thank you for that. It gives us great comfort when CBSE says so, because frankly, nobody remembers their colleges, their teachers in colleges. We only remember our teachers in school. So it's the school teachers that we all have a special place in our heart for. So that's why I think all of us at NASCOM are delighted that we are part of this program and would absolutely support it in any way we can. You mentioned that it is, it's about teachers getting enabled. You talk about digital fluency, and it's very nice to hear you talk about digital fluency, because this is an idea that is very different from the education paradigm that we have had in India all these years. We have always talked about formal education. It's all about certification. It's about that exam that you pass. Whereas digital fluency is a very new idea where we are saying that not everything has to be formal. Yes, of course, we can go to formal, and yes, of course, we will go to the certifications, but it is nice to get your feet wet first, little by little, into something that you don't know. It is this vast unknown of these technologies, which are only words in most people's minds. But if you have an opportunity to start, to go step by step, and before you jump into the ocean, it's very non-threatening. It's a very friendly way of going about it. And that's what we try to do on the platform. And I'm sure that all the teachers who are listening I would request you to take advantage of that. But there are small nuggets of what is blockchain, what is artificial intelligence, what is cybersecurity, or what is big data, how do you apply it, how is this relevant? These are the little Lego blocks of learning content that we have specially put together that you can start your learning journey with before you jump into a course and before you jump into your certification. And why I think this initiative is very special is because today at least, I would say most students, most school students in the cities at least, are very familiar with technology. They are working, they have access to smartphones. If not the smartphone, there is a laptop in the house. They're all playing computer games. They've all fooled around with some kind of app or some social media, something. There is tremendous awareness. Google, everybody knows what Google is. So there's tremendous awareness in the younger community about what technology is. They are not scared by it because they've grown up with it. And with this pandemic, for 2 years, children have just been in front of screens and learned. I mean, I can tell you as personal experience where I learned features about the Teams application through a kid who was 7 years old that I did not know about, because they were doing their classes on Teams and they were doing their classes on Zoom. So children have no fear. They are ready to jump into anything new. So when all these opportunities open up in front of them, when CBSE introduces things like coding in class 6 or introduces artificial intelligence in class 8 or in class 9, when all these skills start coming into the curriculum, teachers will also have to be prepared to deal with what the students are going to come to them with, because they will go to the computer, they will go to Google, they will go to YouTube, and they will learn all these things. So you as teachers need to be prepared to answer the questions that they will come with. I read a beautiful quote the other day, and I think it applies really well for this type of training. It says that teachers should initiate the learning process and then get out of the way. And that's really what teachers need to do today. You should know enough that you can inspire. You should know enough that you can point the children in the right direction, and then get out of the way and let creativity flow. Things like design thinking and innovation are such a pertinent example to give of something that teachers need to learn, because it's all about design thinking is about being user-centric. And here we are talking about being child-centric, how we will teach children. And why have these things why is CBSE even introducing this for children? It's all about how it makes you think. Just like maths, I mean, maths is not a subject that suddenly I need to know what is trigonometry, I need to know what is differential equations. But all this, even if I don't apply it in my life, it is about how we think. Somebody who understands maths, why do we insist that our children do maths? It's because it helps you think. So does coding, so does AI, so does big data. All these things is a way of thinking. Design thinking is a way of thinking. And that's how we will create these holistic generations, shall I say, who will take advantage of what you have learned, because that will influence how you teach them and how you inspire them. So I would just say happy learning, and please take advantage of this world that will open up to you when you log on to FutureSkills Prime. I'm sure there will be programs that CBSE will put in place for you. There will be programs that your schools will put in place. There will be priorities that your principals will set, and that is all fine. But use the advantage that you have of the platform to explore further, to discover what is out there. And then when your students, your Nanna Munna Rahis come to you and ask you questions, you will be so well placed to answer them. And they will look up to you and say, wow, ma'am knows this. So welcome to this journey of discovery. And I hope you enjoy this platform as much as we have enjoyed building it and being there for you and presenting it to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kirti, for the uplifting message. Yes, we are very proud to be part of this partnership. The next distinguished speaker for the day is Mr. R.P. Singh, the Joint Secretary, CBSE. Sir, please may I ask you to unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Amrita. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, thank you. Very good afternoon to Kirti, CEO NASScom, my senior officer, Dr. Saha, Director Skill Education Training, Sridevi ji from NASScom, and Navneet ji for putting the whole context in such a clear and lucid manner that everybody can understand. Yes, we have had a lot of very good response, and as always, the response was more this morning. because the last date was today. So we got frantic calls since morning, and not even me and Dr. Saha, but all our officers, our head of Center of Excellence got called that they have not got the link. So we shared the YouTube link that we have provided, and we are hopeful that these people are now watching us on YouTube. And we'll also share this link with all the persons who have got in contact with us so that later on they can also watch it. The importance of IT, if I would have talked about this around 3 years back, would have been only for the IT teachers or the computer teachers or the people who want to go into the IT field. The Hindi teacher, the English teacher, the physical education teacher, the teacher teaching music would have not been sitting in even in that workshop wherein we would have talked about the IT tools. Even if I would have asked them to be there by force or by some other lucrative incentive, they would have come, but they would have come half-heartedly. Now post-COVID, and now down the line that now we've had the third wave of COVID also, we have got 2-3 lockdowns and the schools are still closed. Everybody has switched to online classes. The teacher of music is taking an online class of the students. The teacher of physical education is taking an online class. The teacher of dance is taking, the teacher of Sanskrit, all those teachers who were in the very reluctant to even take up a PowerPoint presentation. How will I make a PowerPoint presentation? Is taking an active video lesson on Zoom, and they're using various tools. Interestingly, nobody taught them these tools. If this COVID has been difficult for teachers, it has been very difficult for students also. A student for whom a teacher used to be a 5-feet person in the classroom and the blackboard used to be a very big black wall has suddenly come down to a 5-inch mobile screen. The teacher has only reduced to a face. That too, the upper part of the body is only visible. They don't see even the teacher in the whole, how the teacher looks like. Half of the time it's covered by mask or by the headphones. And imagine the students who are there, who have just taken the admission, the KG section. They've not even seen the school building, what it looks like. For them, it's only in a comic book or a TV fantasy that a school looks something like this, which opens off and on suddenly and then closes down with the COVID thing or the sudden onset of cold or hot summers. So in this scenario, the only thing positive, not the only thing positive, but one of the best positive thing that we have seen is the acceptance of IT, the readiness of the people to take up IT courses, the people being more open to the IT jargon, I would say, because any other day I would have said a blockchain or something like augmented reality or robotic or process automation to a teacher who's teaching non-science subjects. They would have gone stood up and gone out of the room. Now they are at least listening. What does this term mean? How it can be useful to me? People have now taken this whole journey of artificial intelligence into their life, which is a very good sign because now it has opened up all universities that are there in the world. It has opened up the availability of the content from the best of the people, from the best of the places, into your living room, into your bedroom, into your sitting table or your studying table, wherever the person would like to sit and study, the matter is available. And it is not bound by the working hours of the school or of the college. It's anytime, anywhere learning that is happening, which is a very good sign for us as teachers, as people who are working in this domain. Now we have got more people who are ready. We have not more people who are accepting this change and then embracing this change and becoming more and more IT literate, digital literate, and the emerging technology, the so-called emerging technologies which are emerging, most of them have already emerged. So they are we would say 21st century skill. We're well into first quarter of the 21st century already. So we have been implementing those skills now. So all these skills are now becoming more and more life skills rather than just being the IT skills. I was just talking to one of the principals that now if you look at a teacher you want to recruit, how much percentage you would give to subject knowledge, the communication skills and the IT skills. So earlier it used to be more of subject skills and communication skills. Now the third skill, which is IT, has taken up the chunk from the subject. It has not taken the chunk from the communication skills. So if a person is IT savvy, he knows how to use the IT available resources, from where to get the information, what to do with the information, how to present the information, rather than just being a creator, but a user of information. So this becomes a very, very, very difficult thing for us, a very responsible thing for us, and puts a lot of responsibility on our shoulders as teachers. Because if the teacher does not know what kind of a content is available in what domain, if the teacher does not know what the kind of content the child can be exposed to if left unguarded on the internet, then the teacher is no longer a literate teacher. Today, that teacher is very illiterate in the subject. So the teacher has now to become the facilitator. The teacher has to explore where the teacher wants her children to go. If the teacher wants them to learn about blockchain, the teacher has to know from where to get the best resource. If we want to learn them about the augmented reality, then from where to get the safer and child-friendly and class-friendly material which the child can be exposed to. Because the moment you put in anything in the search engine, it will give you all sort of results. And it's very easy to get distracted on the internet. You have to make a project, but in the end, you will only write up one page and spend 2 hours on the internet looking for that one page and be distracted with the information which is of no use. So if we are giving a project to a child, if I want my child to find out something from the internet, I have to look at it first. And if I don't know where I can get the authentic source, then I'm no good as a facilitator of my students. The textbook is now no longer a two-dimensional thing. It has now become a video textbook and an e-textbook, a three-dimensional, or more than that with the augmented reality. The textbook has converted. But has our thinking converted? Has it gone beyond the textbook? Have we started thinking in 3 dimensions, or we are still thinking in 2 dimensions? Have we started thinking beyond what is there in the textbook, or are we still limited by the textbook? So these are various questions that haunt us as an examining body also, because what we are testing and what we are teaching, they have to be in consonance. So this new education policy gave us a lot of freedom for implementing the skill modules, exposing them to skills. So we introduced around 11 modules last year, out of which IT was one of the main things. IT, artificial intelligence, coding and data science being among them. They were introduced in the middle classes from 6th to 8th. Small chunks, 20-hour module, 12-hour module, 15-hour module. The child can take up any time through the hobby clubs, so that the child is aware of what is happening, what is coming up, and what is the emerging technology. And we also did a program with nasscom last year also, wherein we exposed our teachers to the available resources on the FutureSkills Prime platform. A lot of teachers benefited, a lot of teachers got used to getting the content of self-paced learning from the best of the resources, from FutureSkills, from IBM Skill Build, from Microsoft Educator program, from the Apple program, from the Google program. So the teachers were exposed to the available resources. Now it's a step further. Now the teachers are getting used to it. They are upskilling themselves, and then they are making teacher aids and teacher resources with using this technology. With the COVID, they started implementing this knowledge that they had gained during this program into their classrooms. And now the results can be seen with the teachers. Even the students are now more friendly. You can see earlier when we used to study, we used to have brilliant coaching institutes wherein we would get notes for a JEE and other examination. Now we have Byju's. The 2D notes have now converted to 3D video auditor diagrams. But that industry still lives. That industry is the one that changes rapidly, responds rapidly to change, even sometimes disrupts the market and causes a change also. But that is also driven by teachers. From where they will get the resource? They will get the resource from teachers. So teachers are the backbone of anything that is happening in the edtech industry. The tech people can only do what the teachers tell them to do. They can only give you graphics, they can only give you special effects, but the content, the driving force comes from the teachers. So the teachers have to understand their power. they have to be exposed to the emerging skills. That is why we approached NASSCOMs, and this bouquet of 10 trainings that is going to happen from 2nd of February to 15th of June, in which we have visualized to have 2 trainings every month at 4 p.m. We thought of putting it around Thursdays. So somehow it has worked on that, or sometimes not, but we have 1 training every fortnight, starting from 2nd of February. We gave out a notification. This is a launch program, and the principals are requested to nominate their teachers so that they can benefit. The idea is, if your teacher is exposed to the best that is available, that the teacher will ensure that the students are exposed to the best of the material. And once the child gets into the habit of learning from the best resources, he will try to be creator of best resources. Because we do not want our children only to be consumers. We want them to be, if they have to be consumers, then they have to be active consumers. Else we want them to be users and creators. Not only consume, but also to use what they are looking at into, like the catch for these days, catchphrase is upcycling. So the whatever information they're getting from these sources, they have to upcycle that and present it in a better manner, in a project manner. And for that, we have recently concluded our training of around 50,000 teachers on the innovation platform. We called it as a school innovation ambassador program. So we are looking at opening up innovation centers in every school, which will help these children on design thinking, patenting, and doing their own startups. So we are visioning something around down the line 4 or 5 years, that we will have schools as startups, incubation centers, wherein the startup ideas are coming from schools. Because nowadays, with everything that is happening, the prized commodity is the idea. So the idea can only come from children, and children are found in schools. And schools are run by teachers. So this is a program for teachers, wherein we are training the teachers to create the ideas. We're training the teachers to make the children think, so that they are able to think, not only be a user of PUBG, but be a creator. How this person is able to fire, how my computer is able to see when I'm typing a red rose. How does my computer give me the picture of a red rose? My computer cannot see. It's a picture, just maybe red rose, likha nahi hai kahin par. There's nothing written as that. But if I say red rose, the computer presents me with around 100 of pictures which are of roses which are red in color. So they have to think how the computer is seeing what I'm writing. So how that thing converts. So the whole idea, once our children are getting used to having these questions, the children, when they come to school, they're full of questions. But down the line, when they go to class 6th or 7th, the questions change or the questions die out. So with this, we are very hopeful that when they learn coding, they learn the framing of a program, they will start asking questions. They will start exploring the scenarios. They will start exploring the possibilities that can exist when you learn a new language, when you learn a new skill, and how that skill can be implemented. So entrepreneurship is going to be a very important aspect with the skills, how the skills are converted. But still, we are governed by marks. We are a society which is still governed by the class 12th mark sheet. Not only the grades, but the marks have to be given. So these all emerging technologies have to be converted to subject, or they have to form a bundle which can be introduced in the school as a subject. So skill department of CBSE has a lot of subjects in class 9th and 12th, 9 to 12th. We offer 19 subjects in 9th, 10th, and 39 subjects in 11th and 12th. Out of the 19 subjects in 9th and 10th, 3 of them are IT, AI, and coding. And this year in class 10th, we had around 8.25 lakh students appearing in an examination in IT and AI. So that's a huge number in class 9th and 10th. When it comes to class 11th and 12th, we have courses like IT, web designing, AI, and data science. So we had around 33,000 students who appeared in this, more than 33,600 students who appeared in this combined group of courses in the term 1 examination. So we have a huge base of students who are taking up these courses. So like sir said, we are now looking at projects and opportunities for internship, opportunities for hand-holding of these children so that they think in the right direction and they can be a positive contributor to this IT revolution that is happening not only in India, but throughout the world. So we are very hopeful with this program that, that teachers will develop some skills. They will be exposed to the best of the resources that is available. And this is not the only thing that we are going to do. This is the beginning of a lot of things that are going to come with CBSE and NASScom joining hands. We are very hopeful of a very bright and digital future. Thank you so much for being a patient listener and giving me time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the words of encouragement. Over to you, Sridevi, to take us through the platform.
Well, thank you so much. Just allow me to share my screen. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for all those words of encouragement. And it's natural for all of us to start with the schools, and we are so delighted to start the teacher training program for the teachers of CBSE schools. So after we have spoken about what is FutureSkills and why FutureSkills is relevant for all of us, it's very natural that curiosity drives us closer to the platform and want to see what exactly is there in this and how are we going to use this platform. Exactly on that count, what you're seeing in front of your screen is the FutureSkills Prime platform. And this is a Government of India and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and NASScom's joint initiative. The objective of creating this kind of a platform is to ensure that the entire country actually wraps into the world of skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. And that's the reason why all of us are over here. I'm just getting into the platform. All of us will have a login credential, which is available with you. In case it is not there, we will be sharing that very shortly with you. You can also use your Google or Facebook login to come in. The basic layout of the platform is split into 3 parameters. One is creating basic awareness, where we will be going ahead and learning what exactly is this technology all about, what does it entail for us, and where do we make a beginning. That's all is something which will contribute to our digital fluency part of it. Once we are there, obviously the next stage is to build a foundation for ourselves. And that's where is the foundation programs which are available on this platform. Now, these foundation programs are again aligned to NSQ standards, which are again recognized by government. Once we are done with the foundation program, obviously we want to go deeper into the technology. We want to pick up some specialized or a focused skill there. That's where the deep skill programs on the platform are going to be handy for you. And this platform is just like Navneet said, it is just not about the technology element. We're also talking about professional skills as part of this platform. Now, let's just get started. Now, if you don't know how to begin, where to begin, you always have, once you've logged in, you have a start here button. Otherwise, let us just get into emerging technologies. We all, we spoke about the 10 emerging technologies which were called out as part of the research, which said that these are technologies for future and the future of work will rely on these technologies. Technologies like artificial intelligence, big data analytics, Internet of Things, cloud computing, cybersecurity, web and mobile application development, blockchain, robotic process automation, AR, VR, 3D printing, and all. Now, when we look at all of these technologies, one thing which we all must realize is this is not specific to any particular domain of business or a segment of business. These technologies cut across into every segment or every walk of life that we live in. Whether we talk about agriculture, whether we talk about retail sector, whether we talk about healthcare sector, every sector will actually have the presence of these technologies. We may not be the people who will be creating applications around this, but at least to understand what is the implication of this technology in the particular segment, it is important for all of us to have the basic level awareness. I'll just go deep into one of these carousels. I would like to spend some time on artificial intelligence. Now here we will find curated pathways, like Sir just now highlighted. He said, when you get onto internet, there is so much of content which is available, and it's very easy for anyone to get distracted. We don't know where to begin. We don't know where to progress. That's precisely the reason the industry has come forward together, and we have carefully put together a series of content as pathways which are available for a learner. Now, what are these pathways all about? These are half an hour to 40-minute kind of modules, trying to give you insights of each of this technology and give you the applications of where all this technology is going to be implemented and how will it be relevant for the walk of life that you are in. Now, it starts with, if you're seeing my screen, what is this pathway all about? What is artificial intelligence all about? And how does one start the artificial intelligence as a primer? I mean, where do I begin about it? Then how is artificial intelligence is leveraged for sustainable development? And also artificial intelligence as, recommender of systems. Also, we are talking about decision-based intelligence, which is going to be very, very prevalent in times to come. And also, how is marketing and technology is used with artificial intelligence as a blended. And also various frames of development, tools which are available on the artificial intelligence. How is AI relevant for textile industry? How is it going to be relevant for energy sector or various other sectors that we are talking about? Now, when we complete any of this half an hour, to 40 minutes kind of a module, there is a small knowledge check at the end of it. When you clear that knowledge check, you will be eligible for a digital badge, which would look like this. This is a kind of a digital badge that you will be earning. Now, apart from this, the next level of programs that we would like to spend some time is on the foundation level courses. Now, these courses, as I said, are NSQF aligned courses. Not just that, to encourage the segment, Government of India has also announced certain Government of India incentive for people who are eligible. There are terms and conditions for it. You are expected to complete the program, go in for assessment, and when you upload and register yourself for the Government of India incentive, there is a DBT which is going to take place and you will be benefiting out of it. So that's where the foundation programs, which are built basically with about 40 to 50 hours kind of duration. This gives a learner a thorough base of what to expect and how do you build your foundational knowledge in that particular domain. Now, what we are seeing in artificial intelligence domain is something similar to what you will see in all the other technologies that we just covered. Similarly, we are just not talking about giving a platform just for learning. As Sir said, we're also looking at how those innovative minds can be, the groundworks for us to think about incubation labs, think about, coming up with design ideas. So that's where, there are these deep skill programs which are going to be helpful both for your students and for yourself. So when you can complete these kind of deep technology courses, you will be more empowered to guide and mentor your students. From here, you can also actually explore and take up some projects which will help you to, have a thorough hold on the technology that you have gained. So these are all the technology courses. As you are seeing, there is so much of content which is available on this platform. Some are free, some are paid. So for the courses which are paid, Government of India is encouraging by giving the incentive for the learners. So similar to what we have seen in artificial intelligence, you will find, I'll just quickly run through the big data analytics pathway as well. So you can see this is all the digital awareness kind of modules which are available, which are all again half an hour to 40 minutes content, followed by the foundation courses, then by deep skill programs which are available. So this will be the pretty much the layout that you will be finding on all technologies. Now, what we are going to do is every fortnight, like Sir said, we will be doing a specialized focus on a particular technology, and we will be covering it in detail for you so that you will be comfortable with that particular technology. Thereby, at the end of that session, we will also suggest some additional reads on this platform, which are going to be very, very helpful for you. You can also take the guidance and proceed further to get yourself certified on the programs which are listed available over here. Now we'll spend some time on professional skills. Now, these are really relevant for all of us. Effective communication, design thinking, and innovation. That's something that we at length spoke about. Product management, project management, creative problem-solving abilities, collaboration and teamwork, continuous learning, digital leadership, so on and so forth. So these are all things which are going to be absolutely relevant, and especially so more relevant for these emerging technologies that we are talking about. So that's why these are built together. Apart from that, there are special Government of India incentive eligible programs, which are separately listed out over here. You can actually take up some of those programs and various other things that you may want to otherwise learn about. Let us say you just want to know what is Python programming all about. You can just say Python and you will see the things coming up. All the content which is relevant to the Python programming are all listed out. So on and so forth. That is something which is going to be curiosity driven. As much as we want to learn, so much of content is actually available on this platform for a learner. Now, what we are going to do is all the faculty, all the teachers from the CBSE system will be grouped into the platform, and thereby we will be every fortnight calling you all for a session, which will be a technical session followed by guidance that you can expect on what to proceed for in this particular platform. I'll just take a pause. If you have any questions on the platform, we can go back to the platform. Over to you. I will just like to share the future sessions that are coming up. Just a glimpse for you. This is the training schedule, which has been already created for you. The first of the sessions will be on artificial intelligence, which will be starting on 2nd of February. Each of the session will be for 1.5 hours. We will be sharing the links for you, and we can actually do all these trainings together. Let us say you want to go in for a deeper program. There are other programs like Digital 101, which is a 15-hour program, which you can see and also adopt onto the platform. I'll take a pause over here. Back to you, Amrita.
Thank you so much for that, Sridevi. That was amazing. I'm also looking forward to attending all these sessions. The recording of this session will be available on YouTube, and we will be sharing the details with CBSE as well as to all the registered participants. We have had more than 1,000 people on YouTube right now, and I'm so glad everybody found it useful. Thank you, Sridevi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, I'll ask everybody to be safe, and thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.